course it had to be the day that I was going to do the video for Omegle that they announced they were shutting down. Like, what is up with that? The timing, just the timing. I literally, the day, I was just searching up Omegle, and that was the day that I found out it's no longer around. It's dead, bruh. It's gone. Which obviously is for the better. It was a very dangerous site. I only went on there once in my life, and that was in grade 3 when I didn't know any better. So I watched Miranda Sings go on Omegle. She was definitely a bad influence because that made me want to go to Omegle and see what it was about. And then I learnt this was not a good idea. I don't even remember really who I talked to or who it was. Luckily I didn't get any creepy experiences. But let's be honest, they're probably all creepy. And then I remember I got in huge trouble with my dad for using it because obviously he's being a good parent. Like, his 9-year-old kid is basically trying to talk to strangers. And I definitely was talking to a lot of strangers at that time, which was really bad. And getting into fights with a lot of people, which I do regret because, but again, I didn't know any better. I was a little toddler, basically, when it came to the internet. Yeah, this is obviously going to plan. The video I was going to shoot was going to be to poke fun at Nikolai from The Strokes on Omegle because he's been accused of going on Omegle on Reddit again. This was a while back, but it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Nikolai. And since I did a video for Julian on his birthday, I want to do the same with Nikolai. Because why not? I have an excuse not to go on it, which in a way is kind of good because I don't want to talk to strangers and ask them if they know Nikolai from The Strokes, which they probably do, but I still don't really want to ask them because that would be embarrassing, wouldn't it, Sylvia? Yes, it would. But still, I would want to know what it would turn out like because maybe Nikolai was going to be on Omegle for his birthday. Who knows? Anywho, I think we should talk more about what he was doing on Omegle because straight up, that is very, very weird and he needs to go to counselling right away because what he was trying to do, okay, sorry Sylvia, I have to talk about this face is called Nikolai, who's an actual pedophile. 18-year-old girl said that he was on Omegle with his brother Pierre, and he said, "I can take your virginity," and the girl was being offered to fly out to New York, I'm guessing where they live, and they would pay for it. And that was originally posted on Demoy. Sorry, I'm not good with French. Nikolai obviously denied the allegations because that's just what powerful men do. They deny stuff. But anyway, so that was that, and we've heard nothing from it since. It's quite very, very serious because the kids, if you think about it, are the same age as Nikolai's kids. So if this is true, he should be going to jail because that is absolutely disgusting. So disgusting. Like, with your brother going on Omegle, like, you must have a sad, sad life. What are you doing? Go and make music or something. Like, your life must be really miserable if it has led you to this point. And what are you going to do now? Because Omegle is gone. I'm going to read through this. Dear strangers, from the moment I discovered the internet at a young age, it has been a magical place for me. Growing up in a small town, relatively isolated from the larger world, it was a revelation how much more there was to discover, how many interesting people and ideas the world had to offer. As a young teenager, I couldn't just waltz onto a college campus and tell a student, let's debate moral philosophy. I couldn't walk up to a professor and say, tell me something interesting about microeconomics. But online, I was able to meet those people and have those conversations. Sounds pretty fair to me. I was also an avid Wikipedia editor. I contributed to open source software projects, and I often helped answer computer programming questions posed by people many years older than me. In short, the internet opened the door to a much larger, more diverse and more vibrant world than I would have otherwise been able to experience, and enabled me to be an active participant in and contributor to that world. All of this helped me to learn and to grow into a more well-rounded person. And so this is really great timing because I'm currently reading Chanel Contos's book on consent, which I just uploaded a book review on. So go and watch that. And she mentions about this chat room that in the end got shut down. It was like called Alana's something chat room. It was invented in the late 90s, and that's where the term incel comes from, which was quite surprising to me because I thought incel was a newer term. I remember looking it up because I'm writing a book and it's like set in the mid 2000s, and I was trying to find some vocabulary like slang that I could use, and I was going to use incel, but I was like, no, it doesn't really work because there was nothing on the internet that said incel is a 2000s word or something, but turns out it's a very old slang. It's from the late 90s. So that chat room got shut down because of like all the misogynistic remarks and stuff. And Alana, she was running it. I don't know when it got taken down, but obviously that made me think of Omegle and the fact that it is quite disappointing, though, that it has taken this long to close down. Like, over the years, there's so much that's come out, and obviously that's not his intention, so I don't blame him. But I feel like if you can't go and tell someone, like on campus, you can't tell a stranger about philosophy, how are you supposed to talk to someone on the internet about that? Because going on the internet I'm pretty sure is more scary than talking to someone. If it's video, obviously text messaging is fine. But the fact that you actually face chatting, I would actually be more terrified of that than actually speaking to someone from school, like face to face, about moral philosophy. Even though I just said sounds pretty fair to me. Actually, no. I think just don't go on the internet and talk to random people. It just doesn't work. I think that's more failure, I think, than you would hope to achieve. I think the best thing to do is just talk to someone face to face. And so why he couldn't do that, I'm not quite sure, but but then he says he was a survivor of childhood rape. Okay. This is why I need to read the whole thing first. Yeah, that's okay, that's difficult. Now, yeah, there's always cons to everything. There's always like, I can see how it could be a good solution, but yeah, the internet is still... The internet's harder to track down a predator because they can just click off and stuff, whereas in person I think it's like... I just realised there's food on my chin. Sorry, I'm not reading all that. But yeah, but I just think we should know that a lot of celebrities actually used Omegle, and like the Strokes guitarist, just scout out 17, 18-year-old girls and ask them and take their virginity. Think about that. I'm not blaming him for it, but it just shows that any person, no matter what your background is, no matter how famous you are, you still do crazy shit